What is up, plant community? Green Thumb here. Before I do a care video on the poinsettia, I just wanted to show, look, it's warm enough to have my Norfolk Island pines out. That's not Norfolk Island pine, but it's warm enough to have them out. Even some of my more exotic palm trees and fan palms. And it's just a nice day out. But anyways, let's go inside and talk about the poinsettia. So, the lovely poinsettia. What is needed to know? So, there's a thing out now saying that they're not toxic, but still, I would keep away from curious mouths just in case that they are toxic. Um, So they make great bonsais. You could definitely bonsai, but this is more of a general care. So general care, you want to keep the humidity up on them, and how I do that is I simply come by with like a little spray bottle, and I'll come by and spray them, mist them, and that keeps humidity on them. Generally, you don't want them up against the window like this because it can cause a bit of on my other one, it has a bit of leaf damage, but it can cause a bit of leaf damage. There are different variants of poinsettias. You have the normal red racks, you have the variegated racks, and these are just modified leaves. These ain't the actual flowers. The actual flowers will be inside of the little leaf racks. So that's people mistake the leaves as flowers all the time, but they're not really flowers, they're bracts. They're modified leaves. They usually put this on so that way they can help get through the winter. This is a way for them to help photosynthesize, basically. So when it comes down to watering, you want to keep the soil fairly moist. You don't want to repot them until you start seeing roots really coming out of the bottom of the drainage holes, or you can repot them once every year, like I do. But you want to really repot them once every Christmas. I don't really repot mine till like once every year until I see the roots coming out, but that's just me. I've noticed one time when I did that they kind of started to decline, so I might do it a little bit differently this year and just repot them after this year like most people do. Um, I've had one as a bonsai for a while. You don't really want to let them get too dry. They can handle outside. You can take them outside into shade, partial sun. I've seen them take direct sunlight in the wild, so I don't see why these guys, long as you adjust them right, keep them in the shade for like 7 days, I don't see why you can't put them in direct sun eventually. Just gradually move them, like 7 days, nothing but shade, 7 days, nothing but part shaded sun, and then you can fully move them into the sun. That's what I would do just to take general precautions so that way you're not actually burning any of the foliage. Um, the only way I know of to get these bracts again is you gotta isolate them in darkness. So, like, you gotta put them in a box somewhere or a cupboard, and you gotta give them complete darkness. No amount of light. Any little bit of light will help your normal leaves to photosynthesize. You don't want that. You want to completely isolate them in nothing but darkness, and then when the sun is just starting to go down, which is the easiest way I can explain it, you can bring them back out. So, like here during October, we start witnessing the sun go down around 6 to 5 ish. So that's when you would really want to start bringing them out and doing it that way. Give them no grow lights, anything like that. You really want to get them to this phase before December. Now, I've had my poinsettia bonsai do it naturally before, but that was like after the holidays, and it was irrelevant because it doesn't remind you of the holidays anymore after it does that. So yeah, general humidity, you can use a pebble tray. You can mist them like I do. I just go around misting them. The tips I seen, the lowest they could take is down to 60. Some people say they could take a little bit more, but I wouldn't want to risk it. You can supplement them with grow lights. In the wild, they will grow as a shrub or a scraggly tree. So keep that in mind. And the reason why they prefer lots of moisture is because normally where I see them at, honestly, is next by rivers growing. So that's probably why they need a lot of moisture. They're kind of like a cypress. A cypress needs a lot of moisture, and you usually find them growing by areas where they get lots of ample amount of water. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's probably why they need lots of humidity. Fertilizing. Now we need to get down to the fertilizing. You do not want to fertilize during the winter. I would only fertilize during the spring and summer. Since they are trees, I would use slow release, but you could use whatever suits you. It doesn't really matter, long as they're getting fertilized and getting able to bush out and grow. Um, you can cut them back if they get too big for you or too wide. You could cut them back, which is what we do in bonsai. Is we cut these guys back and we bonsai them and try to get small leaves on them. They will eventually get a woody trunk on them. They'll eventually develop that. It'll take time, though. It did take really all that long on a bonsai, but for a normal plant you're growing, it might take a little bit longer. I don't know. This is going to be my first time ever growing them like a normal plant instead of a bonsai. Um, yeah, otherwise than that, they just need lots of light. They need to be up against, well, not really up against a window, but by a window that's receiving direct sun, especially when it's cloudy like this. You want to give them the ample amount of light because you got to remember poinsettias are technically a tree. Either way you look at it, they are a tree. Um, of course, if you see the bracts looking a bit bleh during the end of the year, you can just cut those if you want. I've seen people do it all the time on YouTube, and their poinsettias come back just fine. I'll just probably let them fade out this year naturally. Otherwise than that, I think that's it. And that's really it for the poinsettia care video. Have any questions, any suggestions, anything like that, please leave them down in little link, well, not link, but little comments down below. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, comments. But yeah, leave them down there, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. Now, I will say this as a quick thing, though. My YouTube has been messing up quite a bit. Like on some of my videos, it says I have 3 comments, and I don't. Only have me and some other person that commented on my video. So, just YouTube problems, I guess. Well, otherwise than that, I think this is it for the poinsettia care video. Give me a like, share, subscribe, and that'll surely help me out and teach people more about everything plants. So, thank you, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the day.